In this section, we're going to be talking about ACL projects. What is an ACL project? An ACL project allows a user or data analyst to organize his work in a manner that will make meaning to him. For example, let's take a construction company handling 3 different projects. Project A is a port construction. Project B is a skyscraper. Project C is an international airport. You don't want to mix all the data as it relates to all these 3 projects and model them up together. Best practice is that all these major projects should have their own separate ACL projects. So how do we create an ACL project to organize our work? Under the ACL projects, you click on create a new project. Once you do this, the ACL presents you the opportunity to give your project a name. We cited instance of a construction company handling 3 different projects. Let's assume we're going to start with the port project. I put in the word P-O-R-T. Also notice by your left various options of where you can store your ACL projects. Your desktop, folders and libraries on the system, local drives on your computer, or other drives located on other machines within your network. At this point, you have to save your project. ACL by default presents you with a welcome page for you to analyze and bring in your data. But because we are not going to be talking about bringing in data at this point in time, we'll have to cancel this so that we can take a general look and have an overview of an ACL project. Before you create your project, it is very important that you understand the objective of your project. It's also important you identify beforehand necessary data and other information that will be critical for the purpose of your data analysis. A typical ACL project comprises of tables, views, scripts, indexes, command logs, and folders. Remember, in the introductory part, we mentioned the fact that ACL keeps a log of your commands and functions used in the course of your analysis. And so at the bottom of your project, you have 2 tabs, your overview and your log. If I click on the log, you'll see that the system has provision to keep activities carried out on ACL over 30 days, within 15 to 30 days, between 8 and 14 days, and within the last 7 days. We're going to appreciate more the essence and the importance of this log when we start analysis in earnest. I'll go back to our overview right now so that we can have a general knowledge of the ACL project layout. In this section, we're going to be talking basically about how to create folders. For users that are familiar with Windows environment, for example, you create folders on your desktop to hold files that are related in their purpose and use. In this instance, we've created a project called Port, and under this project we might wish to create different folders to hold different components of related items of the project work. I go to the root and I right click for me to see an option called New. At this point, ACL affords you the opportunity to bring in a new table, which we are going to talk about later, to create a new script, which also we are going to address much more later, and to create a workspace, which we'll go into in later slides. In this section, we are only interested in creating a folder, so I select the folder option and then I give this folder a name. It is very important for you to note that ACL in its naming nomenclature does not allow for space in between words. Where you put a space, ACL automatically by itself inserts an underscore. For example, let's say we are creating a folder called dredging. Ports. Notice that what I just did was to separate the word dredging and ports with a space. But at the point of saving this folder, ACL will by itself put an underscore. Notice that? It is very important you do not forget this rule. No spacing, but rather underscore to join two different words. You can create as many folders as possible to organize your work. I can create a folder to keep my tables for the purpose of my data analysis. I can create another folder to hold my scripts that I'll be creating and writing much more later. I can create another folder to hold my workspaces. ACL also allows you to create subfolders. So for example, under scripts, I can create a new subfolder. All I need to do is highlight the folder I'm interested in, that is the script, right click it and follow the same process, new folder, and I can give that new subfolder a name. For example, script on stocks. Again, I can create another folder under scripts, new folder, scripts on supplies. This goes on and on. What it means is that when I'm bringing a new table, I save the new table in the folder called tables. When I create a new workspace, I save that workspace in a folder called workspace. When I create new scripts, I save them in the relevant folders. Now, appreciate the fact that it does not mean your ACL project will not work, or scripts you are running on them will not run, or the tables you are going to save on them or keep on them are going to be invalid by the mere fact that you did not create folders for them. They will run and work well, but your project work will be so disorganized that with time you find it difficult to work with your projects. So it's better to organize your projects right from the start and allow everything to be put in the proper place.